The Kung Fu is the one thing that we are bringing some awareness of. And the main thing is that the gender equality. And because environmental way of living, a friendly way of living in here is not so important because they are already very friendly. And so therefore it is just a part of the issue, but it is not that main issue here, I came to know. But now gender equality is the one thing that I am working quite hard over here. So in terms of gender equality, I brought some nuns to display their skill of Kung Fu, which was also mainly to keep their health fit. And physical health has to be fit in terms of, in order to keep your mental fit. So therefore, physical exercise, any kind of exercise, but the Kung Fu serves the two purposes at one time. The one is to keep healthy, and the second one is to defend yourself. And I don't believe that the Kung Fu is necessarily a means of fighting or hitting somebody else or killing somebody else. It is not. It actually originated from Tibet and practiced by the monks, those monks who are practicing alone in the jungle, and they have to have some means to defend themselves. So these two purposes can be served at the same time. So therefore I decided to sort of like introduce them, the nuns, to go through the Kung Fu. So it is going quite well, and this is what we have been displaying last night. And also at the same time, the importance of gender equality. Obviously, there are many educated people over here, and they are very aware of how important the gender equality is. And I don't really have to add it on it very much. But of course, I spoke quite a bit on top of what they understand. I just wanted to add it up a little bit so that, you know, they will have a more understanding what I am thinking about. So of course, one of the things that I have been talking about, gender equality, is that globally speaking, we need two energy. One is the action, and the one is the wisdom. Wisdom has to go with the action. Globally speaking, we have lots of actions out in the world, but we have a very much of a problem of having enough of wisdom in our life. Most of the things what we do, we are gambling. We are just presuming, you know, things will be okay. I put my finger crossed, you know. Things should be okay. It should be okay. But we are presuming. So the presumptions, sometimes the presumptions are wrong, mostly wrong. Sometimes it gets okay. It's like a gambling. I would say that our life is like mostly a gambling, which is quite difficult. I mean, it's like a challenging, which is also okay. Nothing wrong to be challenging something with something. It's a fun anyway. You should take it as a fun. But if it is possible to have a wisdom, I think that would be very, very good. So that, you know, we will almost never make any mistake in our life. And on top of the action, the energy of action is tremendously there, but the wisdom is there. Then both will be like coordinating each other, complementing each other, and create a life, a wonderful life, for the benefit of all beings, for the benefit of global beings. So this is the reason why we should not ignore the women, because the woman has beautiful energy to be contributed, that which is wisdom. I'm not saying that we men never have a wisdom. Of course we have a wisdom too. And it doesn't mean that the woman doesn't have an action. Of course woman has an action too. But woman has more wisdom, and we men have more of energy of an action, but less wisdom. The woman has more of wisdom, but less energy of action. Of course, because less muscle. So anyway, that sort of thing. Anyway, so therefore, gender equality, from that point of view, also the gender equality, to raise the awareness of gender equality in this world is very important. Not only in the West, but in the East. Also, not only in the West, East or West, but in the middle. We have to really raise this issue very high uplifted way. It's a very important in order to bring the world peace. Right now, we don't think that the world peace depends on the energy, all these subtle energies. We don't think about it. World peace is just depends on world leaders. The leaders, big leaders of the big countries, they sign on the piece of paper, and then the world will be peaceful because two guys shook hand and that's it. That's good enough. Yes, that is also good, but that's very temporary and it's a very superficial. Actual peace is when the combination happens between the male energy and the feminine's energy together, and the things will blossom beautifully for the global sake. One should understand that the nun is the initiative thing. For example, like I'm talking about woman empowerment. So it's the one of the small, tiny thing or tiny aspects of the woman empowerment. Very tiny, the nun is. But that is not all, not at all that we are doing. It is not sort of whole. That is not the whole sum that we are doing. That is a very tiny thing. In our tradition, again, tradition is of course made by human being, of course. So we human being, or our human being, like some of our people, I don't know, a couple of 100 years ago, we made it in a way that the nuns are not important. Monks are the important, the nuns are not important. And it comes in the package anyway. It is not really specifically looking down at nuns, but package of overall the women kind of is not so important anyway. So that is the reason why it has the tradition of a nun and nunneries are not that highly respected. So therefore, I set it up as an example for the next generations to see that how important the nuns are also, equally to the monks. So that is one of the reason why, that is the one of the small reason that why I raise up the nunneries and nunhood. But that's just a small part. But from that sort of trying, I would guess and believe that people will realize that, okay, and the people will realize the true teachings of spirituality. For example, Buddha Shakyamuni has given equal right between the female practitioner and the male practitioner. And even Buddha Shakyamuni said, when you get enlightened, so-called, you also, the female enlightened female enlightened beings and male enlightened beings. He emphasized very strongly that way. But of course, as I said, after, say, 100 years after Buddha came, and then the people made up and lots of different things and the so-called tradition. So the women are not, and they even have a gut to say that women cannot get enlightened. Women cannot do many things. The women are, good at kitchen work and do nothing but just kitchen thing, So that sort of thing. So therefore, I am trying to get a revolution done slowly, so that the women will have a great opportunity to contribute to the world. Not only from the nuns and the nunneries, etc., but from different varieties of activities.